Greetings, friends. This morning I thought I would share a little bit of another side of my creativity, which is my gardening and working particularly with, in this case, herbs. I have a vegetable garden and some fruit too, but I really get a lot of joy out of herbs. And the nice thing about herbs is that they're actually pretty easy to grow. Most of them take care of themselves, particularly the perennials. They're pretty hardy. You have to do a lot to kill them, and frequently they become like weeds. So I'll talk about a few that I have in my garden and some of the things that you can do with different herbs. I'm going to start with St. John's wort. When I lived in Arizona, you couldn't even buy the seeds or plants for St. John's wort because it was considered a weed. But here in California you can. And I started with one little plant tucked in behind, I don't know, I think it was a rose. And every year it comes back, and it does pretty much grow like a weed. And they have these lovely little yellow flowers. Now, mainly people know of St. John's wort for its antidepressant capabilities, properties. But another thing, and that's usually, you usually find that in teas. I'm not sure if the blossoms are used or if some of the leaves are used as well. What I have done with it is, because I don't get that many blossoms, but what I wanted to try and do with it was make an oil. And you just take the blossoms and you fill up a little jar or bottle with the blossoms all the way to the top, and you cover it with a good oil. In this case I used an olive oil. And you leave it set for, I think this has been sitting for at least 4 weeks, it may even be 6 weeks. And interestingly enough, the yellow flowers will turn the oil red, this beautiful kind of ruby red color. And then the flowers can be strained out of it. And the oil is then used, well, it's used for a number of things from what I've read. And I'm not going to go into detail about any of these. It's easier to just Google the name of the herb and find sites like botanical.com. I think that will give you all their properties. But while the tincture and the tablets of St. John's wort are used for antidepressant, the oil is generally used on cuts and wounds, and I've also heard it's good for sore muscles. The homeopathic, I believe it's Hypericum perforatum, is St. John's wort, and that is used for nerve injury from blows. So it's good for the nerves and for wounds. Personally, I like to use it as an oil for massage in any achy places, of which I have many. So that's my St. John's wort. And then I have lavender, lots of lavender. And lavender, of course, can be used just to have around. It smells so good. You can make sachets from the blossoms. One of my favorite things to do with lavender is to take the blossoms, you know, a handful of blossoms, chop them up, and put them in about a cup of honey, mild flavored honey. This is just, you know, your Costco version here. I like to get clover honey from the natural food store because it's really mild. And you put that in a pot and you put it in a double boiler, and you let it simmer in the double boiler for half an hour or so. And you'll end up with this lovely lavender honey, lavender infused honey, which is just, it gets eaten up right away. And lavender, you can put it in teas, herbal teas. It's good in baked goods. My daughter made, I think it was a plum galette the other day, and chopped up some lavender in it, and that was really great. Then I have lemon verbena. And lemon verbena is blossoming right now. You can also make a honey with that. Any of these herbs as well, you can infuse vinegar. And if you want it if you want it just for the flavor, you don't have to put in that much. You could put in a few sprigs. If you want the medicinal properties of the herb, you can actually fill a jar all the way up of a chopped herb, pour vinegar on it, cover it up, and leave it for 6 weeks. And then you will also have this wonderful flavored vinegar, but in addition to that, you will have the medicinal properties, you know, like mint or rosemary, which is a, I believe it's got anti-inflammatory properties as well. So anyway, getting back to the lemon verbena, you can use that in a vinegar, you can use it in teas, baked goods, what's the other thing I was saying? Yeah, honey. Honey would be good with it as well. And it's just got this really marvelous lemon scent. It's almost a little like lemongrass, if you've ever smelled lemongrass, but not quite as biting as that.